Tonight, the South Whidbey Falcons cross the Sound to meet the Jackson Timberwolves. Jackson is 4-2 in league play, coming off a big victory over Lake Stevens. South Whidbey at 1-5 in the league is looking to pull off a momentous upset. The Falcons and Timberwolves battle in Wesco AA action. Next on the TCI Game of the Week.
It's a new month, the 1st of November, Friday night at Everett Memorial Stadium, and a new league that we're covering tonight, the AA Wesco, with the South Whidbey Falcons from over near Langley coming in to face the new school, the Jackson Timberwolves. And it's an interesting ball game that we've chosen to cover tonight. Hi, I'm Rod Belcher, and working with me as usual is Kurt Marsh. Well, Kurt, we've seen nothing but AAA up to now. Kind of look forward to this.
It'll be an exciting game, a good chance for both of these teams to watch themselves on TV. And talking with some of the members of the coaching staffs, their kids are pretty excited about this.
You bet. Well, Jackson is a new school. South Whidbey has a new building, a nice new campus up there. And I don't know, they've had some good history in the past, but it's been kind of tough for them this year.
It has been tough. They've only won one game this year. Last year they had a little better season. Jackson is off to a great start, actually finished this year. They've lost all their games last year and now are doing well.
That's the South Whidbey team. They'll be wearing the white uniforms and the blue pants tonight. And let's look at their record and look at their coach, Mick Hegnes, in his 13th year. Boy, that's a long time to be coaching those Falcons up there. Last year they were a 3-6 record, and get at that last line on the screen, Kurt, they beat Jackson 47-24. Jackson, I suppose, is going to be a slight favorite tonight, at least.
Well, tonight Jackson has a much better record, and plus they're their home team, last game at home tonight here in Everett, as well as a little revenge factor.
Now the South Whidbey team runs what kind of an offense?
South Whidbey will be running a wishbone combined with a little bit of a run and shoot. They're strictly an option team, and they've got a pretty good quarterback that can run that decision-making offense.
But let's hear a little bit more about them with our pre-taped interview with Coach Hegnes as he talks here about his team's strengths and character. Mick?
Well, some of our team's strengths, I believe, is our spirit. We've got a scrappy group of young men that really have a lot of heart and desire, and I don't think you'll ever see them quit. And we also have established pretty reputable ground attack right now with Ryan Hubrey. He's been doing a great job for us, and also we're able to put the ball in the air once in a while and be somewhat successful. So our key players, obviously, Ryan is one of the main cogs in our offensive system. He was out early with an injury, but has come back and has averaged well over 100 yards a game rushing. Since then, he's just a workhorse for us. We also, I think, a key for us is our quarterback Keegan Simons, being able to keep him with a good night, and he throws the ball real well. And when he's on, we can be pretty tough. And then James Traynor and Sean Beatty at the receiver spots, and defensively, Nathan Davis at the middle linebacker spot is a real main man for us. So. Coach Abrams has done a good job with the Timberwolves. They're a real disciplined ball club. I think our key, obviously, is that we can't make mistakes. We've made too many of those this year and have shot ourselves in the foot quite a few times. And the real key for us is ball control and try to control the tempo of the game and not let them jump out on top of us or give them any great opportunities. If we do that, I think it'll be a good contest. So.
Somehow he kind of reminds me of Jim Sweeney with the look. Huh?
He does look like him.
Yeah. Anyway, that was Mick Hegnes talking about his South Whidbey Falcons. Now let's turn our attention to the home team tonight, the Jackson Timberwolves from out in the Mill Creek area. Dick Abrams, familiar name around here, in his third year. Well, it's the third year in the Jackson High School, too, as a matter of fact. They're coming off that good win over Lake Stevens last week, 17-14, and a heck of a game by J.J. Everson, the junior, plays running back and also plays a little bit of linebacker now and then.
J.J. had a great game last week. He averages well over 7 yards a carry, but their real workhorse is Brian Whitaker, leads the team in yards as well as we take a look at Jackson there, as well as tackles defensively, has well over 100.
Now, he may not start tonight because they're starting seniors all the way around, and he's listed as a starter on defense, but we kind of expect him to play a lot of fullback as well. Okay, the pre-recorded interview with Dick Abrams lets him give a chance to talk about the challenges of running a new program. Let's hear about it, Dick.
Well, I think the hardest thing was starting without seniors. You know, it's hard to start any program without senior leadership, and we started with freshmen and sophomores, and so they had to be our leaders, and I think they are becoming leaders now, but I think it took a while for them to learn their leadership roles, and so actually the biggest challenge was probably overcoming that lack of leadership to start off amongst the kids, you know. Our key players right now, Brian Whitaker has played real good football for us. He's our inside linebacker and also plays fullback for us, and he's had a real successful year gaining yards for us. He's at about 600 yards for the season. Other key players, Todd Caliper at quarterback has done a great job for us. David Lehman is an excellent receiver that we have and also does our punting. And David's been a real good defensive back for us. He's a transfer in from Ferndale. Defensively, I think that Gene Canavan at defensive end and Corey Nelson at defensive end have both done a great job for us and really helped us to play up to, you know, where we are. Well, you know, South Whidbey's as tough as anybody in our league, and I think we found that the league is pretty even this year. We surprised some people in the beginning after our 0-9 year last year. I think some teams were able to kind of beat up on us. We didn't have seniors last year, so we surprised a couple people. You know, we won our first game in tiebreaker, Kansas City tiebreaker in overtime against Monroe, and actually beat Everett in an overtime non-conference game. So we've surprised some people. I think our kids are playing hard, but South Whidbey has a lot of seniors on their team, and they've even though they've just won one game, I think their record doesn't speak to how good they are. They play a real tough offense to stop. They run the wishbone, but they throw in the run and shoot with it. And so South Whidbey is a real challenge for us, and we have to get ready for it. And I really think the league's real even this year. So whether you've won 5 games or you've won 1 game, I think everybody can win on a Friday night.
Anybody can win on a Friday night. That sounds like typical coach talk. They've got to respect the other ball club, though, even though they are 1-6 overall this season.
Well, it's going to be a good game tonight. Exciting offenses on both sides. One thing we saw earlier in the graphic was that the young man Wright for Jackson kicked a 38-yard field goal last week, so that's a real plus in high school football. Have someone that's got a leg like that. Should be a high-scoring game.
The field may have a little bit to do with it because it's still kind of sloppy and spongy out there, even though the last few days have been, well, beautiful weather here in the Everett area. Okay, we're all set for tonight's game, except for getting ready for the kickoff. We'll be doing that in just a moment. Right now, let's take a break on TCI's Game of the Week.
You'd never buy a car part by part.
Turbocharged V8 engine.
That would be expensive. So why pay for premium movie channels individually?
Seats.
Now that TCI is your cable provider, you can get TCI Choice Theaters packages. Each package features the new channels, Stars, and Encore.
Oh, a vanity mirror.
Plus additional premium movie channels like HBO. And the more you add, the more you save. TCI Choice Theaters. It's our way of saying welcome. Call now and save on premium movie channels with Choice Theaters packaging.
Okay, the team in white, that's the South Whidbey Falcons, will be receiving the opening kickoff. They won the toss, elected to go on the offense. Jackson will be kicking off.
David Lehman will be kicking off for the Timberwolves.
Jackson with the black and green motif. David Lehman is the kickoff man. And back to receive is number 20, Whibey. And it's a short kickoff taken by Trainer. The 30-35 breaks into the clear at the 40. Still going across the 50. Heck of a return of a short kickoff. That was Montgomery, who finally made the tackle, number 3 for the Timberwolves. And South Whidbey has great field position to start the opening drive.
Well, that's the way you like to start a ball game. Excellent return, good blocking up front. The wedge stayed together, and number 89 Trainer did a good job of just getting upfield and actually tore away from a couple of tackles there.
First and 10, let's call it the 49 in Jackson territory. You got 4 down linemen for Jackson. They're running out of power I and an incomplete pass. A quick one out to the side intended for Whibey, who's really the offensive star of this team. Incomplete from quarterback Keegan Simons. Here are the officials for tonight's game. With the white hat, the referee Ken Hudson. The others, Gunther Hausman, Bill Broughton, and Jim Caveney. We remember Jim from his days coaching Arlington some years back. Okay, here's the 2nd and 10 play. Running out of the wishbone formation. Handoff given to Whibey. He bucks his way to the right side, goes to the outside completely. There's a flag down on the play. He gained about 3 yards with Brian Whitaker, the all-purpose guy for Jackson, making the stop. Whitaker wears number 40.
We're going to hear that name a lot, Whitaker, as we see a holding penalty against South Whidbey, which kind of negates that good gain there by Whibey. Whibey, as you mentioned, is really their outstanding running back. 126 yards on 26 carries last week, so he can put them up.
But the penalty is going to make it 2nd and long. Would have been 3rd down and about 6. Well, the penalty is paced off. Takes it back to the Falcons' 42-yard line. It's going to be 19 yards to go. 2nd and 19. No scores, just the first series of the game. Quarterback is Keegan Simons. He's a 6'1" senior. And here's the ball carrier, Whibey again. Winds up with it and gets back some of the yards they lost, but it's Gene Canavan who made the stop. Let's see where they put it. They put it on the South Whidbey 49, so it's going to bring up a 3rd and 12, Kurt.
Canavan's the guy outside playing, and they're playing a 4-4 defense. Jackson is to try and take care of that option. There's 3 guys that have the opportunity to get a handoff.
We have an official timeout on the field.
Got an official's timeout signaled by Ken Hudson. Looks like a shoe came off. One of the offensive linemen, you can see him bending over there and retying that shoelace.
But as I was saying, they've got their 4 down linemen, then they got the 4 linebackers, and they're all taking one of those folks. That time, Whidbey was able to break contain. Number 66, Canavan, fortunately played across the face of the lead blocker.
Line up in that. Whoop, here's a quick pass out to the flat, incomplete. That was meant for number 7, Sean Beatty, the wideout.
O'Toole was able to jump up that time. It's a linebacker for Jackson and get a hand on that ball. O'Toole is only a sophomore for Jackson, yet he starts both ways. He's a real prospect for this Jackson team.
Well, that was a 3rd down play, so it's now 4th and 12, and they come up in punting formation. The punter is James Trainer. He was the man who ran back that opening kickoff. Boots it toward Coffin corner. It's going to get a nice bounce inside the 15, rolls down to about the 12. And so a good punt in that situation, Kurt, and it gives Jackson the long field to go.
Well, this is all a result of that good kickoff return. It gets Jackson in real poor field position. Speaking of the field, Rod, you and I were down there earlier today, and you look at it there on the screen, and you can see the clumps of mud. It is really soft and mushy, and it won't take much a few trips up and down the field to really dig it up.
That was a 39-yard punt, by the way, with, of course, no return. So starting out on the 12-yard line, let's see what Jackson does. Their quarterback also wears number 14. That's Todd Caliper. And the handoff goes out to the side, and that's Chris Conser, the running back, and he doesn't get anything at all. Might have been stopped for a loss.
Trainer able to come across the line of scrimmage just from his outside linebacker position. Trainer at 6 foot, 172 pounds, a senior. He's got some experience, just came shooting across the line of scrimmage and stopped Conser for no gain. Actually a loss.
Okay, they line up with number 22 Ham in the fullback spot. And in motion, here's a handoff up the middle of the first man. Ham carries number 22, and he gets up to about the 14-yard line is all. So it's going to bring up a third down, and still at least 9 to go. Nathan Davis, number 52, the linebacker, made the stop for the South Whidbey Falcons.
Jeff Ham starting tonight, not the normal starter. The normal starter is Brian Whitaker. However, Whitaker is a junior. Ham is a senior, and he's a pretty good ball player. They want to give him a chance to start in his last home game.
David Lehman, number 11, is the wideout. Here's a quick pitch to the outside. Carrying the ball is number 35, Chris Conser again, and he's stopped by Matt Hobby, number 12, and he's nowhere near the first down. Well, he's fairly near at that, but he's still 1.5 to 2 yards short, and it'll bring up a punting situation. Very quickly, they form into their punt formation with number 11, Lehman, getting a high snap from center, boots it away. It's a short kick, bounces across the 50, heads for the sideline. Pretty good Jackson bounce, and it's down right at the 40 in South Whidbey territory. No score in the game. Time to play 8 minutes, 52 seconds, first quarter. That punt good for 30 yards, and again, no return.
Well, good defensive stand by South Whidbey that time. They look like they were very aggressive, getting across the line of scrimmage. A little different than the Jackson first defensive stand, where they seem to be a little more passive, catching and sliding. We'll see if that just maintains those styles all throughout the game.
Well, the Falcons went to some quick passes in their first offensive series. Let's see what they do here. 1st and 10 at their own 40. Handoff goes to the fullback on the wishbone, and he carries up the middle. That's Paul Buell with the carry. He gained about 3, maybe 4 yards on it. So call it to the 43-yard line. 2nd down and 7. You see number 12 is Matt Hobby, who is the tight end. 14, Simons. Right behind him is Whibey, number 20. And here's the ball carrier that doesn't get anywhere at all. I noticed Whitaker was at the bottom of that pile again, number 40. And that was Whibey on the carry. Sherman, number 77, also had a piece of the action.
We're going to take another look here. We'll see why Whitaker is so good. He plays off of that lead block and gets right into the hole, sticks his head right in there, drives through the running back, and just a short gain on that play, making it a 3rd and long.
All right, Corey Nelson also was in on that last tackle. All right, 3rd down and a short 5 to go. They're back to pass, and the pass is knocked down by one of the linebackers. Dan Niger got up for that one, as the pass didn't have much arch to it, and he knocked it down, so it's an incompletion. And we go to 4th and 4, 4th and almost 5. And let's see what kind of field position Jackson gets out of this exchange. Jacob Hertzberg is back, along with Rocky Hawkins as twin return men. Go ahead, Kurt, if you were going to say something.
Well, I was just going to say that Niger would have had his 2nd interception of the year, and he caught that. He's got 1 so far. Poor kick.
There's a poor kick that really went off the side of Trainer's foot and lit way out of bounds, and is going to be near the 40-yard line, only 14 yards or so, and that's a great plus in field position. They started the last one at their 12, and now they start at the 41, where they finally mark it.
Well, neither offense has gotten on track yet, both of them sputtering a little bit, and just now it's Jackson's turn to get their try on.
Here's a quick toss to the outside. Carrying the ball again is Concert, and he's down for a loss. The stopper was Josh Dill, number 64, and also Chris Callahan, number 50.
That offense that Jackson is running is they have a wing T setup, but then the guy from the wing is going in motion. Not in motion, he's actually sprinting across the backfield, and that sets up that quick pitch to the outside. Whidbey doing a good job of anticipating and getting out there and shutting down contain.
Motion man is Montgomery, number 3, back for the first pass at Caliper. It's a big floater, and it's a nice catch. A jump ball type of reception, and that was Peter Williams, number 24, the tight end.
We'll take another look at this. This was not a very well thrown ball as Caliper goes back, fake. He has no pressure at all. The ball looks like it slips out of his hands, and here we see the receiver Williams just doing a better job of judging where that ball was going to end up and concentrating on that. A little bit overplayed by Beatty.
32 yards on the gain. Is just inside the 30-yard line. And here's a cross buck to the left side with Concert almost breaking away. Gets inside the 25, and the stop made by Sean Beatty, number 7, from his cornerback spot. Where they spot the ball is going to be the 24-yard line. Gain of 5, 2nd and 5 coming here.
Excellent hole on that side. Allen and Rockwood, the 2 linemen on that side, tackle and guard, did a good job of opening up a hole that you and I could have fit through.
Caliper waits for the snap. Montgomery in motion again. And the handoff to the fullback up the middle. Ham has, I think, a first down at about the 19-yard line. Ham, number 22, the senior, getting a shot at starting at fullback tonight, and he's doing all right. It's right at the 20-yard line, so it is short by, well, not quite a full yard. Okay, let's see what they do with 3rd down at this point. And shot up the middle with Ham carrying, and I don't know if he made it. Did he? Oh, yeah, I see. He scooted through to almost the 16-yard line. Well, I lost track of where he punched his way through that line.
A lot of quick fakes in that backfield. You've got 3 different running backs going in different directions. Caliper doing a good job of hiding that ball. Fooled us, also fooled South Whidbey.
Concert and Ham remain at the running back spots, and this is Concert trying to go to the outside, and he gets away from 1 tackler, but a couple more knock him down, but he's got a pretty good little gain of almost 5 yards. Sean Beatty, 7, and Josh Dill, 64, were there to stop him.
Well, the guy that slowed him up first but did not make the tackle was Trainer, and that's what South Whidbey has done a pretty good job of tonight, and that is containing that outside quick pitch in the sprint. They've got 1 man, their contained man, who's doing a good job coming up the field and trying to turn that play inside. That's what they need to do.
4 minutes, 40 seconds to go. First quarter, no score. There goes Montgomery, the man in motion. Fake to him, give it to Concert. Concert's down short of a first down, but he's almost to the 10-yard line. Concert's kind of a tall, rangy kid. Stands 6'2", 175 pounds, and he's a senior. Spells it C-O-N-S-E-R.
Again, on that play, the defensive line for South Whidbey are really coming across the ball. They were into the backfield, had a hand on Concert before he even got back to the line of scrimmage.
And there's a quick toss to the outside, and a new ball carrier, number 32, O'Toole. But he didn't get very far. Got about a yard, barely inside the 10, so it's going to be 4th down. And I wonder if they're going to try for the place kick. Now, you mentioned that Justin Wright kicked a fairly long one last week, Kurt.
38-yarder with 4 minutes left to give him the win.
This is not that long. Caliper's the holder, and 15, Justin Wright, a junior, is the kicker. And it's a nice-looking kick. And it is good. So, big 3 points on the board. Good leg and good accuracy for Justin Wright. That was a 28-yard field goal. So 3-0. Jackson in the lead. It's important for Jackson to win this game, Kurt. They've got an outside chance of getting into a complicated playoff scheme next week.
They are, yeah, they're right in there with a couple of other teams, Cedar Crest and Stanwood, who have both beat Jackson, are now ahead of them in the standings. However, if Cedar Crest loses and Stanwood gets beaten, then Jackson has a chance if they do well here and win tonight.
That touchdown came with 3:24 to play, or not the touchdown, the field goal with 3:24 to play in the first quarter. But now it's going to be David Lehman kicking off. As you heard in the pregame dope from the coach, Dick Abrams, he's a transfer from, I forget where they said, someplace to the north, Ferndale, I believe. Whibey is back deep along with Trainer again. It was Trainer who had the long return last time. The signal. Here comes Lehman. There goes the ball. And it's a scooter that bounces long, picked up nicely at the 16-yard line. Trainer again with a great return, and he's up to the across the 40 to maybe the 43-yard line.
Trainer does a great job of getting in behind his wedge, and the wedge also is very well disciplined. They get right together, they stay together, and they run as a group. A Trainer gets behind them, the wedge clears the way, and he picks his holes. And again, an excellent return.
Trainer is a linebacker on defense, and he's a kid also kind of in the tall, rangy type of build, 6 feet, 172 pounds. Okay, here they line up in that wishbone formation. Handoff is to Whibey, number 20. Tries to go to the outside, being chased down by Lehman, and a one-on-one tackle there.
Lehman brings Whibey down, but Chris Moorhead, number 30, the lead blocker on that play, came out and just laid an excellent hit on Williams, who was coming up to force the play, and got himself a pancake. They're going to like seeing that in the films. However, Lehman was in the right position, bringing up the force from the outside and stopped the play.
The gain was almost 4 yards. 2nd and 6. Hand off again to Whibey. Whibey running from a left half spot. He stopped short of a first down. Did cross midfield to about the 49 with Whitaker as the primary tackler.
Jackson, I've noticed, is doing a good job of rallying to the football. There's usually 2 or 3 Jackson tacklers around that football, and when they finally do bring down the running back.
Well, here's South Whidbey with a chance to make a first down, and Carl, it would be their first if they make it, wouldn't it? Yep. Carl Nichols, our statistician spotter, confirms that. Here's the 3rd down play, and the give is to number 5, and he breaks into the secondary across the 40, 35. That's Lino Guerrero with his first carry of the night, and not only did he get the first down, he got lots of yards to boot.
We're going to take another look at this. Guerrero earns a lot himself. He gets the ball, and now he just runs over a couple of guys right there and gets out into the open field. Down the field is number 7. That's Beatty, who's down there blocking for him. 17-yard gain.
First down at the 32-yard line of Jackson. There's a handoff. Whibey bounces to the outside, breaks a couple of tackles, gets a nice gain, 7 or 8 yards, almost down to the 21-yard line. As Dan Niger, number 50, the linebacker, makes the stop.
Good, again, great block up front by the lineman, and then Moorhead comes in and clears it out. Whibey does a good job of skating down the line, following his blockers, and then when he sees daylight, just accelerating through the hole.
Matter of fact, there's a gain enough for the 10 yards and a first down, and it's at the 21. Here's the handoff up the middle to the first man, and I missed the handoff there, but we'll tell you in a moment. Looks like it was number 30. Yeah, sure. Moorhead, Chris Moorhead carried.
Finally gets a chance to carry the ball. He's been working hard as a lead blocker. That time, just mixing it up, getting it up the middle. You got to make the defense respect the middle in order for to set up any plays to the outside.
That's a gain of a little more than 2 yards on the play. Yeah, Moorhead, number 30, is the up man closest to the quarterback in that wishbone Matter of fact, all three of those backs are quite close to the line of scrimmage. That's the general way they run the wishbone. There is a stoppage of the clock here by the officials. No, there was no timeout. 27 seconds to go in the first quarter. 3-0. Jackson leads. Here's South Whidbey with a second down. They run to the outside. It was the keeper by the quarterback, Keegan Simons, and see how far he got. He got inside the 15 to about the 12-yard line.
Simons to the outside has the option to run or pitch it back out to Whibey. Simons chooses to run with it. He gets that ball, kind of gets it out to his side, away from his body, and Brandt finally makes the tackle. But when the quarterback runs to the outside like that, Simons, he's got to keep that ball tucked away. You don't want to get a turnover when you're in the red zone.
Well, it's a possible first down. The yardsticks come out to determine it. At any rate, it's a nice drive by the Falcons, who had a little trouble with their first couple of possessions. This one's going to be short by less than a foot. And the clock shows 21 seconds to play in the first period. I don't think the wind is a factor tonight, Kurt, but if there is any breeze, it's generally been from the north the last couple of days. There you see the ball being replaced at the hash mark. 12-yard line. Very short to go on second down here. We've got 5, Guerrero lining up at right half. Left half is Whibey, number 20. 30 is Moorhead, and they give the ball to Moorhead, and he's got the first down, all right, at the 10-yard line. That's one of the things when that fullback gets the ball, it's a real quick hitter.
Well, especially as you mentioned before, Rod, how close they are to the line of scrimmage. All the offensive line has to do is get in the face of those defensive linemen, and you don't have time to react and read where the ball carrier is going. So that ball carrier is on the line of scrimmage and is across it before you can even react.
Moorhead's a 6-footer, 185-pound junior. And that's the end of the first quarter of play before they can run another play off. So the field goal by the Jackson Timberwolves is the difference at the moment, with the Falcons on the move. We'll take a quick timeout here. Be right back with quarter number 2 on TCI's Game of the Week.
It's hard to imagine anyone who hits harder than Mike Tyson. For that reason, he is the most feared boxer in the world. He comes at you with either hand. It doesn't matter. Who wouldn't be afraid to fight him? Finally, Tyson versus Holyfield. One of 3 heavyweight championships. Saturday, November 9th, live on pay-per-view.
A great fight and Port of Subs make a great party. Order today.
There go the Jackson Timberwolves back out on the field to play the defense, and they hope the defense is going to come through, because it's a first down for South Whidbey at the 11-yard line. So they can get a first down at the 1 in this sequence. You see number 50, Dan Niger, who's been a tough defender. Number 14 for South Whidbey's their quarterback, Simons. Here's the handoff to Whibey carrying, and he good power drive off the right tackle position for about 5 yards, it looks like, possibly a little more. He's down almost to the 5. Yeah, knows the ball just short of the 5, so give him a gain of 6 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 4.
Whibey, a strong runner. He's only 5'9", but he's 180 pounds. Must spend a lot of time in the weight room. He's very compact.
Again, he lines up at left half, and the fake to him, and the quarterback drops the ball, and it looks like Jackson recovered. Well, I don't know what happened to the quarterback on that. He made a nice fake to begin with, and then as he went into a reverse pivot, he just dropped the ball. Gene Canavan, number 66, drops on the ball finally.
Well, we talked about the sloppy condition of the field. The ball could be a little slippery. However, he made the fake, and then as he turned, he was going to bootleg back to the left. Switching his hand to his left hand, the ball just popped out. And then it was a fight for him to get after it. Canavan was coming hard and doing what he's supposed to be doing, closing from the backside, and was in the right place at the right time.
Well, Coach Hegnes said mistakes have killed his team a lot of times this season. There was one of them. And here's the ball carrier moving to the outside. J.J. Everson, the first time he's carried. And it's a short gain on the play. The ball was taken over at the 18-yard line. It's now up just across the 20.
Everson averages 7.4 yards a carry. He's that wingback that comes in quick motion. They call it fly motion, and they have the opportunity each time to hand him the ball. He's already got a head of steam, and that time South Whidbey reacted very well.
Now they line up in a different formation, kind of a spread, and Montgomery's the motion man, and the ball carrier goes up the middle. That was Ham, the fullback. Again, a very short gain. It's going to be third and a difficult 6 yards or so, maybe almost 7, to get the first down.
Jeff Ham, a senior, has over 100 yards this year, 28 carries. He plays sparingly, as we said. Whitaker is usually the guy who carries the ball most of the time, but Ham, as you saw there, a senior, getting a chance to play here in front of the home crowd.
Back to pass. Caliper. There's another jump ball. This may be intercepted. It was. Joe Trainer, number 82, one of the 2 trainers on the South Whidbey team, made a good interception, Kurt.
Well, we're going to see it again. The ball very similar to the one he threw earlier that was a reception. Just throws the ball up. A jump ball. That time Trainer was able to get in the proper position, get in front, and catch the ball at its highest point. Trading turnovers here.
Except now South Whidbey's got the ball back at the 43-yard line. There's the handoff. No, a fake and a pass. Beautifully played on defense by number 11, David Lehman. It was meant for Beatty, Sean Beatty, the wideout, number 7.
Jackson is playing that 4-4 defense with 3 deep. Lehman on the side, as I guess you'd call him a corner, but they're playing the 3 thirds of the field. They've got a safety and 2 corners. Lehman playing that side. Excellent play. That ball was a nicely thrown ball. Had Lehman not hit it, Beatty would have been on for 6.
Here's the 2nd and 10 play. Carrying the ball is Gadaro. Not much there that time. Keegan O'Toole, number 32, makes a stop. No gain at all. It's right on the same yard line, the 43. It'll bring up 3rd and 10. We're into the 2nd quarter. 9 minutes and a half to go in the period.
Usually the thinking on that 4-4 defense, especially against an option team where there's so many opportunities to hit many different holes, is that you've got 4 linemen and 4 linebackers. Each man is assigned to a gap, and you cover your gap, and that should take care of it.
There's a rollout. Pass is complete and close to a first down.
Simon's pass was complete to number 20.
Whibey was the receiver on Simon's pass.
Going to take another look at it. Nice ball fake there. Roll out. Excellent protection. Lots of time. Whibey just stops and steps in front of that ball. Whitaker misjudged it a little bit. Kind of was looking for the ball rather than the receiver. And Whibey able to pick up a good game.
Well, it's 4th down and a little less than a yard to go. And they're running up the middle and got the first down.
As I said before, you know, they line up a yard off the line of scrimmage. If the offensive line just gets into those defensive linemen and gets any movement at all, you're guaranteed a first down. You have 1 yard to go.
That was Chris Moorhead who carried, the fullback. So it is at the 33-yard line, 1st and 10. South Whidbey showing some pretty good offense in the ball game, but they have yet to score. Simons gives it off, 2nd man, Whibey. No, he faked me again and threw a pass. See, it is to Guerrero, number 5.
Well, you're going to see right here an excellent fake up the middle. Both times they faked to 2 running backs and then threw outside to Guerrero. The fakes held the defense in as well, and Guerrero able to get open in the flat.
A gain of 9 to be 2nd and 1 at the 23. And there's the ball given off again to the short man. It was Whibey running from left half, and he got the first down again. Matter of fact, pretty good little gain inside the 20 to the 18.
Good job up front. South Whidbey getting into their defensive linemen and linebackers, keeping their feet going. Whibey doing an excellent job of just picking away, trying to push forward, finding a little room here and there.
3-0. Jackson leads, but South Whidbey threatening again. There's the handoff. Second man, Whibey gets through a little hole at the right side of his line, through for a gain of maybe 4 or 5 yards. Reaches the 13-yard line, where it'll be about 5 yards to go on the next down here. 2nd and 5.
Defensive coordinator sends for Jackson. Mark Kreutz sends in the defensive call. He was a graduate assistant at the University of Washington when I was playing there. Has had an excellent coaching career in high school football.
This is Guerrero on the carry, bucking to the left side. Did not get the first down, but he is inside the 10 with Keegan O'Toole making the stop. O'Toole, the linebacker's been playing a pretty good game.
Take a look here at the replay. Just a straight ahead handoff there. You see coming from the outside, O'Toole, excellent tackle from the outside, but after that tackle, again, you saw number 30, Moorhead, laying a great block on one of the linebackers.
So it's 3rd down and a yard. Whibey running down close to the goal line. Looks, well, what happened? He fumbled and the ball went into the end zone, but he was down.
We're going to be able to see it here, Rod. Again, just following Moorhead is Whibey. Whibey, number 30, leads the way. Good blocking by the right guard up front. Whitaker plays off. You see that the ball, well, his knee was down before the ball slipped out. He was stretching for the end zone. It looked almost like it was a fumble, but his knee was down.
It's a 1st and goal at the 1-yard line, and the handoff is to Moorhead, who scores. Well, that was the play you kind of expected in there with a yard to go. The short man, the fullback, right up close to the line, takes that handoff and just goes ahead behind his center and guard.
South Whidbey showing excellent aggression up front. Not a real big team, but they're coming off the ball well. They're keeping their feet going, and just as they are on the defensive line, they are winning the battle up front.
They lead at the moment 6-3. Trying for the extra point here is John Grieve, a sophomore, by the way. Boots, kind of a line drive, but it stays inside the left upright. It's good. 7-3. The Falcons lead the Timberwolves. And time to play in the 2nd quarter, 5 minutes and 57 seconds.
We'll take a look at the very end of that play. As you see the push I'm talking about right there, the whole pile is in the end zone, and that always means that the offensive line is doing a good job. That's Callahan and Davis and Thrasher and Manning and Keck.
Channel 29 on Tuesday night.
Now we'll see what Jackson can do in a come-from-behind situation.
Rod Belcher and Kurt Marsh will be doing the play-by-play. That is this coming Tuesday night at 7 p.m. on Channel 29.
Well, Jackson had by far the best record with 4-2 within the division, 5-2 overall. And South Whidbey just struggling with 1 win, but this is a different ball game at the moment. They're ahead. Montgomery, number 3, is back for Jackson, along with David Lehman, number 11.
Well, again, this is the last ball game of the season for South Whidbey, and they've got nothing to lose. These seniors take this very personally, and they are obviously fired up for this game.
Grieve, who just kicked the extra point, will kick it off. He's a 5'11", 155-pound sophomore. Kicks it along the ground, bouncing off the shoulder. One player picked up by Jackson's number 45. That's Chad Brandt. And he brings it back across the, well, near the 35-yard line. We'll have to see where they spot it. Maybe not quite that far upfield. No, it looks like about the 32 where he crossed the sideline stripe on the far sides.
Well, I see Whitaker in the ball game for his first series.
Right. He's number 40, so watch for him in the fullback spot. They've still got Concert, number 35 in there. And, of course, 14 is Caliper, the quarterback. Lehman is the split man to the right side, number 11. That's Everson in motion. There's a flag on the play. No play here. Get the signal in a moment.
Illegal procedure against the Timberwolves.
Somebody moved on the offense before the snap.
Well, everybody on the Jackson offense needs to get up and get set quickly because they bring that guy in motion. If you have two guys moving at the same time, that could be a penalty.
Set up in the same formation. Montgomery in motion. There's a handoff to Whitaker, his first carry, and he does very well with it. Gets about 8 yards, it looks like, on the carry. So Whitaker, a standout on defense, gets a chance to shine on offense. There he is, number 40.
Right to Whitaker, good blocking up front, and now it's all Whitaker. Nice little move there, a spin move to get away, good balance, forward lean, always going forward. Gets another couple yards after he's hit.
Good pictures by the cameraman on that one for sure. He's a 185-pound junior. Second down and a long 5, almost 6 to go. There he goes again, struggling hard in the arms of tacklers, and he looks like he's about a yard short of a first down, right at the 40-yard line. Now they're moving it up to the 41, which would mean almost close enough for a measurement.
The ball carrier in on the stop was James Trainer and number
I think
75.
they will bring out the chain and sticks.
Well, this is good for Jackson. You bring in a guy like Whitaker. I see him out there talking with his teammates. Looks fired up. It can be an emotional lift to have him come in and be successful right off the bat. It gives your team a lift, knowing that maybe they have a shot at moving the ball. They're just definitely know they're in a ball game now. South Whidbey drove down the field on them and put that ball in, and Jackson has got to respond.
Resetting the chain and sticks. Looks like it's about a foot or even less to go for the first down, with third down coming up. 5 minutes and 3 seconds to go in the first half. 7-3. South Whidbey, the team on defense right now, leads. Caliper's 14, right behind him is Whitaker, the fullback. Montgomery, the motion man. And goes Whitaker. Boy, they really stopped him that time, right at the line of scrimmage. And although they had a foot or maybe even less to go for the first down, I think he lost a few inches.
Callahan met Whitaker right in the hole. Callahan is 6 foot, 215 pounds against Whitaker. He's got Whitaker by about 30 pounds. Whitaker at 185, but excellent job reading that play, and then he came unblocked to make that stop, Callahan did.
Well, here comes J.J. Everson, number 1, into the huddle with instructions from the bench on fourth down. They're going to go for it. Fourth down and almost a full yard to go now. Everson is in motion. And the give is to Whitaker, and this time he leans forward, and I'm sure he's got the first down with a gain of a couple of yards. He reaches the 42. The stop made by Matt Hobby, who is a tight end on offense and a linebacker on defense. Where's number 12?
Well, Caliper has tried a couple of throws tonight. He's thrown 6 interceptions. Now he's thrown another one tonight. This may be a good spot to mix it up. However, I don't know if they've got a shorter pass in other than that one down the sideline.
Hand off to Concert. He fumbles. They're all after it. Recovered by South Whidbey is the signal by the official right at the point of the ball. Well, Beatty is the man who recovered, number 7.
Well, it was caused right here. Buell coming in and grabbing Caliper, and then Caliper not even able to get the ball off to the running back. That was Concert. Concert fumbles it away, and then South Whidbey is right there.
And the Falcons have it right at the Jackson 40-yard line. Left halfback Whibey carries. Good push by the offensive line. He just stays behind him, lets him do the work and follows him. And he gets himself a gain of 5 yards to the 35.
Offensive line up there is the largest guy is actually only 5'9". It's number 75 Keck, but he's 250 pounds. He's a junior. Their other tackle is only a sophomore. The rest are seniors.
Well, Peter Manning at 66 is 235 pounds. Here's Whibey running to the outside this time, and he's close to the first down territory at the 30. Far side of the field.
Brian Whitaker was in on the stop, number 40.
Well, they sure use that fullback as their lead blocker a lot.
There you see that offensive line in the huddle there.
3rd and 1.
66 is the 235-pounder. 89 is Trainer. Okay, they line up with a 3rd and 1. Quick count. Handoff, Whibey again.
Number 20
goes down again.
Whibey takes it for a 1st and 10.
They keep grinding out that yardage in good shape. They're down at the 27-yard line. 1st and 10 there.
There's something about that you get into a rhythm. I know that for the offensive line, when you start running that football and you find some success, it's like a heartbeat. You get into a rhythm and it just feels very comfortable, and they seem to be in that groove right now.
Clock becomes a factor. Here's Whibey running behind Moorhead again to the outside. Nice gain. He's to the 20, maybe inside it a little bit. The clock starts to become a factor here with 2 minutes and 5 seconds to play, and the clock's still moving, but they'll stop it now because the Jackson player is shaken up and is down on his back. And out come coaches and trainers. That stops the clock with, just like I said, 2 minutes and 5 seconds to play. When play resumes, 2nd down. Oh, is it Whitaker? Wow, that's bad news. Yeah, number 40, you can see it on his shoulder there.
They're checking his leg out.
Well, maybe nothing more than a cramp, at least we hope so. Charlie horse, we used to call him. He's trying to run it off, whatever it is. Well, he's important as a linebacker. He's important as a ball carrier. We hope that he's available to stay in the contest.
And they'll need him emotionally as well, as you see right there, head coach looking on. That's Dick Abrams.
2nd down. Here goes Whibey again. He's the workhorse. Gets inside the 15. Has a 1st down. Continue to march. And they've got to beat the clock too. 1 minute and 48. Clock stops while they move the sticks. And then it'll start up again. So the Falcons better not waste much time. It's about a half yard inside the 15. Simon's waiting. Fakes, keeps it himself, goes to the outside, gets about 5. He's down around the 10-yard line. Simon's a nice faker, Kurt.
Good ball fake that time to the running back coming in, and then as we saw earlier in the 1st quarter, he's not afraid to run. As a matter of fact, he looks like he darn well enjoys it. As he gets outside, he just tucks that ball away and goes at it like a fullback.
1 minute and 5 to go in the half. Here's the 2nd down play, and it's a buck to the right side. I don't think there was a fumble on that play, but just a big pile of humanity. Ball carrier was Whibey, and the timeout now has been called by South Whidbey.
Here you see the offensive line coming off the ball, getting a little bit of a push. That time, number 50, that is Niger, gets in there and slows down Whibey. But you look at the defensive line that Jackson's got in there. They've got a couple of guys at 180, another one at 190, and they're being overpowered by that much larger Whidbey line. Whibey right now 14 carries for 81 yards, so he's right on pace to beat last week's rushing total of 126.
When play resumes, it's going to be 3rd down and about 3 with the ball at the 8-yard line. There you see number 52, that's Davis, an effective blocker. He's a guard. Jackson kids getting all set with their defensive alignment. They're being hard pressed to stop this ground game. There you see Whibey lining up number 20 at the left half spot. Simons with the ball gives off to Whibey. Whibey down inside the 5, and he may have the first down. Chad Brandt, number 45, saves an even more substantial gain.
We'll take a look at this again. The ball fake up the middle sucks in the linebacker. You see right there, allows that crackback block to come across, and Whibey takes advantage of it, getting to the outside. Good leg drive. O'Toole finally out there to make the stop. They used to love this situation on offense. As you get inside that 10-yard line, you have the opportunity to get a first down. Once you have first and goal from the 4, you come in feeling pretty confident you're going to be able to score.
Well, South Whidbey took another timeout to conserve clock time, of which there's only 47 seconds in the half.
You see the steam coming off. It's a cool night out here tonight, Rob.
You bet. Typical fall, 1st of November after all, as this is being played. One of the coaches was telling us that South Whidbey really doesn't use a lot of reserves. Players are hanging in there. Okay. Let's see if they give it to Whibey here. Sure do. Whibey's down inside the 2-yard line. Maybe reach the 1. And it looks like they've called their 3rd and last timeout for this half. With time to play, 39 seconds.
Well, Rod, you said they don't use many replacements, but as we look across the other side of the field there, they've probably only got maybe not even 20 more players out there to put in. It's a very small squad.
Well, it's going to be 2nd down at the 1-yard line. Now, the last time they got this close, they gave it to the fullback. And there you see some of the people in the crowd. I wonder if that's the South Whidbey stands there. Well,
That's
makes no
the Jackson
difference.
High School band.
Okay. Henry M. Jackson High School, named for Scoop, native son of Everett, a longtime congressman, senator.
I remember when they put together a committee that was going to figure out what the name was. They came up with a name, and the folks said, no, we don't like that. We'll call it Henry M. Jackson.
Good enough. Well, there goes the fullback. Touchdown. Again, they gave it to the up man, number 30, Moorhead, who's being congratulated by his teammates. Scores his 2nd touchdown from 1 yard. And suddenly the underdog South Whidbey Falcons have a 13-3 lead with a chance to add the extra point.
Good job by Coach Hagenes of using his timeouts to conserve time, to get the plays called he wanted to get called, and not leaving much time for Jackson.
John Grieve, the sophomore who kicked 1 extra point, will do it again, and the holder is Gadaro, number 5. Gadaro's that other halfback. It doesn't get to carry the ball much, but I think both he and the fullback, Moorhead, seem to be lead blockers.
And they do an outstanding job.
Well, his timeout must have been taken by Jackson here at this point, because I don't think South Whidbey had any more left. "36 seconds to play in the half. The extra point will be coming up. Okay, 84, Grieve is the kicker. Number 5, Lino Gadaro is the holder. This one is very good. Looked like it went right down the middle. So how about that South Whidbey team? They come over here from the Langley area, and they're doing all right for themselves.
Take a look at this touchdown again, and we'll see why Whidbey is where they are. You see again that great push up the middle, and just allows number 30, the guy who's been doing most of the lead blocking, Moorhead, to get his name in the statistics for 1 more touchdown. We heard Dick Abrams before the ball game talking about forget the record, because this league is very competitive with one another, and even though South Whidbey was 1-6, as he said, anybody could win on a Friday night.
Well, just mentioning Friday nights, we're going to be televising on a Saturday night next week. Snohomish will play host to one of 3 schools that, as we're talking tonight, have a chance to go up against the Snohomish Panthers.
That's Cascade, Kamiak, and Mariner. Is that correct?
Okay.